And I'm ready to log
Yeah, mine's just spinning. So. All right, well then we'll just start. And you guys can all right, I'll call the meeting to order for December's planning meeting. First order of business is approval of the agenda.
Move approval of the agenda for today.
There's a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That passes unanimously. Sorry, I'll try to log back. I'm going to try to start over again. Get in. Approval of the August 11th planning minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes? Is there any revisions or?
There's revisions on two places. In the old, well, one was in the old business 5C. I was there. It shows that I was there voting. And the other one I'm trying to find again, and I can't find it. But it's in there.
So when you mean you weren't?
I wasn't in attendance at the meeting on August 11th. So I couldn't have voted.
That would.
And I didn't.
That'd be hard.
And I didn't give proxy. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then so that appears twice.
Yeah, there's two areas. One is in old business 5C. Find the other, and I'm not having much luck, but I know it's there.
Well, you want to make a motion to approve the minutes with removing the references to you voting since you're absent?
Approve the minutes via removal of areas that voted.
Okay. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Get a motion to enter into the Board of Adjustments.
I move we enter into Board of Adjustments.
Is there a second? Any discussion?
I did.
Roger. C. Well, yeah, C was louder. So, all right, let's go to, I guess, did we vote on that?
We didn't vote.
Okay. All those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Seeing no opposition, that passes. Oh, did I skip over? Oh, well, let's do that. Before we start on Board of Adjustments, does anybody have a public comment to make on anything that's not on the agenda? If you're here to speak to something on the agenda, you get an opportunity when it comes up. Otherwise, if you want to speak to something off the agenda, now would be the time. Does anybody want to make a public comment? Seeing none, we'll go back to the Board of Adjustments. Thank you for catching that. Request to defer a variance to provide more time for applicant to make revisions. Staff want to give us just a quick. They're getting more detail, or
they're trying to decide. They're working on their drainage study. They had to hire an engineer to do that drainage study of the road, and trying to if they're going to relay out lots or how to move forward with all that drainage.
Yeah.
So we just need more time for appropriate engineering.
Asking for a date certain?
No date certain. That's why I put it. It would expire if they don't choose not to come back. If the engineering doesn't come back correctly, and they're to work.
Well, so when you say the variance will expire, you mean the variance application?
Application will expire on June 2nd. We have 1 year from the date it was
Okay.
brought to board.
Okay, well, yeah, let's just make sure we say it's the variance application in the future,
Okay.
because otherwise it sounds like we've already given them a variance that's gonna expire. Questions for staff on this issue at all?
I'll make a motion to hold the variance application until the requester is ready to come before us before June 2nd, 2026.
Second.
Okay, motion to defer the variance, application until such time as the applicant, feels they've accumulated everything. But,
Oh, second.
okay, well, I was just restating the motion, making sure. Okay, so, discussion on the motion. If none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. Second variance request, additional residence on agricultural property. Phillipson, looks like.
The Phillipsons are here.
Up or,
So Jace Phillipson has contacted the planning office in regards to building a home on over 160 acres on agricultural land with his family. Currently, our ordinance states that the buildings have to be 100 feet in distance apart. He is asking to build his home 40 foot closer to an outbuilding and to live in the house that's currently north 40 feet while he builds a house and remove it when they are completed.
so what's labeled on this is existing household, is that what you say you'd live in until the house was built?
Yes.
So if once the second house is taken out, would he comply with all the distances for the other? He'd be fine with the distances. The distance issue is because he's going to be he can't get the building permit without the variance.
Yeah, this one right here holds them up. 60 feet to the barn, and this should be 100 foot. And this allows him to put the septic and everything with compliance. And if you had to subdivide the land, the setbacks all work, everything works with septics, everything still would be compliant if anything would happen in the future.
Where's the existing home?
Existing homes here. This is the one he would live in. There's multiple homes. So this is currently what's on their property. So H is the homes that are currently there. They already removed one. It's already been taken off site. And then B is all the barns that exist. And PH would be their proposed home to be built within their area.
What's the existing home distance from the barn?
From here to here is 40 feet.
That from the barn.
Yeah.
From
So right now it's 60 feet from the proposed. The current home, what's that distance from?
It's probably 60.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
So the one in the red roof would go away.
So in the end, you're ending up with just one house on the parcel.
There's another house
There's
on the
one
north
towards-
side there.
Oh, that one stays, and
That one stays, yes.
I thought you said they'd already removed.
They had, oh, go ahead, Mr.
There
Phillips.
was 3 residents there, and one was sold here about a month ago, and it's been removed.
As in you moved it up.
Yeah, yep.
They got a permit and moved it.
Yeah, I think we've done a couple of these before where it's a tear down, but they gotta have a permit to get the building permit, or a
Yes.
variance to get the building permit. And there's no plating involved in this.
No.
Did I see they were on the agenda twice?
One's for ordinance 20, and then one's for ordinance 34 that goes to the commissioners with your guys' recommendation. Because 34 is the building codes.
Huh?
34 is the building codes,
Okay.
And then 20 is the subdivision ordinance, so we're asking not to have to plat the land
Okay.
because we're too close with too many structures. So 20 is a motion for you guys to approve or deny. 34 is a recommendation to the county commissioners.
So on this one, I would make a motion. Misspeak, stop me. So on this one, I would make a motion to approve the variance request, providing the existing home is removed within, what do we usually do?
Well, I think we say once the occupancy's,
The occupancy certificate is held. It's usually 6 months to a year, depending. All utilities are usually dismantled, so.
Right. Yeah, all that stuff we usually say, Max, please.
yeah.
Within 6 months of certificate of completion.
Is 6 months enough time for you guys? Or, I mean, that's a,
Yeah, I think we can get it after the completion of,
Well, certificate of completion. So, I mean, you're gonna get the building permit, then you'll get certificate of completion, then you gotta have the house off. I think generally we don't really require that they have to remove, like, disconnect it from power and stuff once they get certificate of occupancy and the other one. So you can take more time to move it off once you get the other house done, but you gotta make it basically uninhabitable. So, motions to grant the variance.
Second.
With the conditions, the usual conditions.
Yes.
Are that upon certificate of occupancy, the other house is taken off utilities, and then they have 6 months then to remove that house. Okay. And it's been seconded. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Good luck with the house.
Albert, can we just, because we're going to exit Board of Adjustments and there B on the next one, can we flip A and B or no?
We could. While you guys are up here, let's get a motion to exit the Board of Variance. Okay.
Capture the essence of
When the certificate of occupancy. Got to be able to move it.
Got to have electricity in one house somewhere. That electric toothbrush has got to be charged, I'm sure.
The hot water.
Huh?
The hot water you really want. Got it? So can I get a motion to exit the Board of Adjustment?
Will we exit the Board of Adjustments?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move into the variances that we make approval or recommendations to the commission. I'm going to go to 4B, skip 4A, since that concerns. This is basically the same thing. It's just of could you explain the difference in the variance request quick? Okay, those are the setbacks and the distances.
the setbacks and distances.
Can I just make the same motion?
Well,
Or no, we recommend
It's a
approval.
recommendation.
yeah, just same motion with recommended, they approve on the following conditions.
Yes, there we go.
Make it then?
Huh? I'm trying really hard to move us along. I'm sorry I can't think.
The Monday.
Got Monday mush brain.
So you're making a motion.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for Max to look at me and say, "What are you doing, C? Do you have it, or do you need me to speak further?" A recommendation to approve to the county commissioners this is a variance, waive the requirement, whatever it is,
Be a variance.
with the same conditions as the last.
there a second to that?
Second.
Nancy seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Do you recommend they
passed.
come into the county commissioners on a variance like this, or?
I know it's a long
Support?
ways in, so I think if you call a couple of commissioners, I call Gary.
I'd call to get, talk to
Yeah,
Gary.
and, I'll know, and probably Rich Liggett, and you wanna call a couple of, just to make sure. And I don't think anybody's gonna, we tend to give these as standard course, so. Yeah, if you're gonna come in and get the permit anyway that day, you can show up that morning and stop in and watch a riveting county commission meeting.
Thanks, board.
Thank you.
We'll go back up to 4A, variance request, private well ordinance. Diamond Arrow subdivision.
So do we have to move back into the Board of Adjustments?
No, we're still in, this is recommended to the commission.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you introduce yourselves and say why you're here.
Mr. Anderson, I'm the one that's requesting up to my well.
I'm Joel Anderson. I'm not a relative, or I'm a contractor. Do a lot of water line repair. He had called the well digger. He came out, dug a well on her property, trying to put in a septic tank and drain field. Lot, put the well in there, and did a 10-acre lot. Trusted the well digger to have the right permit. Check things out. Now she's got well, and stuck with this problem.
Yeah.
Trying to get variance to be able to have a well on that lot. There is a public water line there. Third lot is the furthest one. And I've done a lot of work for High Meadows, is where she's getting the water from. I've done a lot of work for them and stuff through the years. And all their water systems and stuff, they actually have troubles keeping up with the amount of people that they have on their system. They go into a lot of serving water. We've got a problem. I bet they do that probably summer months when water, and I bet they do that 4 or 5 times that their reservoir gets dried up or low. So then water restrictions. If they have any leaks at all, they water restrictions. Their system has a hard time really keeping up with it. A lot of these developments, I work for a lot of different developments, and they don't release any more taps. It happened to be that her dad was the one that divided this. Had water there.
Yeah, it looks like there's a filed water agreement with High Meadows to give them water on that lot. So,
Which, I just want to say that the main reason I know nothing about any of this building stuff. My husband and I we have this property, and we had just decided we'd like to have a well rather than hook up to the community. And he, being a contractor sales for 20-some years, knew all about this stuff. Well, he passed away 3 years ago. So I'm was just continuing to do this building. I had no idea that I had to have a permit. I didn't know anything about how to do things. So I contacted the well driller. He didn't say anything about asking if I had a permit. He didn't, as far as I know, didn't check with the county to see if I had to have a permit, or that it couldn't be drilled on, less than 9 acres. So I guess to say that is I wasn't trying to be sneaky and just put in a well and then ask you to accept it. I really did not know how to go about all of this.
When did you have the well dug?
It was put in about a year ago.
And was your contractor local that did it, the well digger, or was he
He's
from?
from Hill City, South Dakota. But he told me he's drilled at least one other well up there in that same subdivision, in that same High Meadow. So he didn't. I guess I assumed if they needed a permit, my permit, but he did not.
those, am I correct, you guys look back at the minutes and there was a condition of the plat that they have the community water system?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to understand the only reason these plats were allowed was there had to be an agreement. You would have never had a platted lot there if there wouldn't have been an agreement to hook up to the local water. We would have never allowed it. So, and this is filed against your property, so you're on legal notice of it. That's why we file them against the property when you do these deals, so that people are on notice of it. You can still maintain the well and use it for like lawns and gardens and stuff like that, but the way our ordinance reads right now, without the variance, you can't hook up. You're gonna have to advance the water system for a residence.
If she had 9 acres, would you allow the well?
Under our ordinance, you wouldn't need a variance in that situation. No,
9 acres.
you would not need a variance in over 9 acres. Generally, there can be other circumstances that might change that, but.
And I guess I don't ever remember reading this, so.
Yeah, I can appreciate it because obviously it's not something you do on a daily basis. But at the same time, there was a reason. We didn't give the plat. The only reason we allowed the lots to be chopped up was because there was going to be other communities. So.
I guess I understood it to be it's available if you want to use it, is what I understood from the water board when I talked to them, that they said, this is available if you want to use it. So I like I said, I don't remember ever reading it, so.
Actually, the agreement that was signed back in 2013 indicates that the lots are to be hooked up to that community system. Well, it was 2013.
Day or two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got an obligation. Yes, it's available for you to use. If you're going to build a house, it's available for you to use.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to extend the line if you're just going to leave it along ground. Are those other lots built out, or are the other lots built out there? Just from the GIS, it looked like they were unbuilt lots up there still.
They've all been, I think they all have one.
They
In
all
that
have water,
specific
but
one.
they aren't built on.
They haven't built on, but they do have water.
A question for Tanya. I'm sorry. Have we received any communication from High Meadow Water?
Called,
The land is the land that I developed.
Sir, can you identify yourself for?
Don Scandrett. Saying if she can't use that well, same as telling her she can't build, because the possibility to take a trench through that stuff down, what, about 800 feet? Solid rock.
There's a lot of rock up there. Actually, a couple years ago, they put a power line in with a big wheel, rock heater, and that wheel wouldn't even eat it. Wouldn't even touch that rock. So that rock can be really hard. It's there.
And the sense of it is she can't have the well, then she just can't build. Gave her that land, the idea that she could, of course, build there, naturally. Figured that they probably would have to drill a well.
So what's your name again, sir?
On Scandrett.
Okay, but you signed a well agreement that you would hook all these up, High Meadows, in 2013 when you did this project.
We figured that we would then, at that time, that's some time back. Before we found out. Now, he dug a trench through a place that's closer, and you had to change a couple of times to get even that short distance because of the rock and so forth. So, he's just gonna have to give up if he can. We have figured for some time that when they develop it, they would have to give it.
So what have you done to attempt to trench it?
We dug over there by the water tap, like he said. He had to move it about 3 different places before we found that we could get all the way to Greens there, the other,
Short.
the
Mhm.
first one. And so then, I don't know how we could even stay in there, the big, road.
I even tried to dig down, run a water line down to my barn, and I can't even get that far. Anyway, that's basically, you're telling her she can't build at all if she can't use the well.
Other comments or questions?
Ma'am, this Hill City contractor who dug the well for you, I got to assume you signed some paperwork. Are you in agreement with him as to statement of work, statement of contract?
Alexander Drilling, I don't know, but that's how I'm the contractor trying to put septic tank drain field in, and that's how we found the well problem or whatever. We had no idea that problem or anything else.
I guess I'd feel better making an informed decision if I could look at this sales agreement to do this service, and if it said specifically he was responsible for getting all conditional use permits and licensings and stuff, or the owner. Right now, I have a he said, she said situation.
Right.
And to be honest with you, that kind of splits it too close down the middle for me to.
They, actually, the well digger doesn't have to get a permit from the county. I just talked to Cal to see whether the well driller has to have a permit to drill that well.
Okay.
He goes through the state.
But her position, if I recall correctly, is that she assumed that the paperwork was all being taken care of on the contractor.
Right, she did, you know, we hire somebody that's supposed to know everything about everything, and didn't fulfill his job. I don't know, getting punished for him not fulfilling his job. He took her money and everything, drilled the well. So, no.
As far as I remember, I did not sign anything. We had a verbal, I just said I want to drill a well here. And finally said, okay, I'm ready to drill a well. I didn't sign anything. The only thing I got from him is once the well was drilled, he gave me that's the only paperwork I remember.
How deep is it?
750.
Septic system in?
No. That's how this all gets started.
Everything's on hold.
And where is the well on the lot?
Right there where that white? No, it's not out in the trees. It's up in that meadow right
You
down.
want to bring
no,
up
down,
that
down
well,
a little bit more.
septic tank?
And a point right.
It's about halfway on her lot there on.
Is it on? It's about approximately right. Right.
It's 250
There.
feet
In there.
from her line.
Hmm?
I'd say it's halfway in there on that.
Just down from that.
Because that's
Right
kind of
there.
where you're putting the houses. It's in 250 feet
Yeah.
on the lot.
It's right on the edge of the tree.
Where's the community well?
Where's the
It's
community
way
well?
over.
It's probably almost a mile away.
Yeah, there's multiple houses on it, water tank.
These are houses that come
Right.
off the line.
I thought
This is
the
a
tower
house.
for this was up behind Snyder's.
No,
No,
it's way up.
The holding tank is not up behind Snyder's?
Oh, it's over by Inghamson.
By whose?
Craig Inghamson.
yeah, this is High Meadow.
High Meadows. It's up on the main road there.
We're over here, see.
It's about halfway, about where that kink is in the road. Over this way, towards me, right there.
That well has been there since. That is.
70s probably, I think.
So another question I have is, what are the feelings of the people that are on this about you not hooking up?
Sent him a certified letter and I didn't receive anything.
Most
I
of
mean,
those
That, wait.
most of
Sturgis-
those water
Stur-
or
I'm-
water systems are maxed out.
Can I? certified letters went to your adjacent land. But I'm asking, it looks like the list of people that are on this water system is quite lengthy. So the number of people that got notified that are on the water system are a fraction of the number. So I'm asking, overall, what does the whole water system group think of you not tapping in?
They have to go to the board. They have a board.
Yeah, I know they do.
There's been 2 wells drilled up there already recently. One I think they just on and so, but the other one, though, they are.
But they must have had more than,
There's right on the public water.
but they must have had more than the acres
Yeah,
required.
they have 9 acres.
Oh,
I
they
don't
didn't,
think
they
so.
didn't even have
No.
5
They
acres.
probably haven't come in
No.
for, they
Oh.
probably have not come in for
They
a building
didn't-
permit.
Yeah, they didn't.
So there is probably not a permit approved yet.
Well, we don't have any of that in front of us.
Her building permit came in and we checked it as a public water system, and that's where it got flagged. High Meadows Water District has contacted me and said they are aware they have to supply water to her house. It is her responsibility to bring the water to her property.
Right.
I know there was a board meeting. I haven't heard back from him since there was a board meeting. I believe you attended. I have not heard back
They
from him.
basically said, this is available. Have to provide for you if you want. That's what they told me. Have to provide the water if you want to.
And what's Paul's last name? Wilson? Paul Wilson. Yeah, Paul Wilson, he just drilled a well here out. But it's for irrigation. And has it so that he can hook up water to the house if he has. They do go down an awful lot.
Okay, additional questions for staff or the proponents?
Sounds like I'm getting more.
for information.
Yeah, well, how many people are not following?
Well, I mean, those are allegations. I mean,
Where's the water tap that you would have to tap into to come down your property?
frankly,
It's-
just one point I'd make to Mike's comment is, you can have a well to irrigate. That does not violate our ordinance. So if the guy sunk a well to irrigation, it doesn't he wouldn't need a variance.
But we don't have well police to go out there and physically check if all these wells are supposed to.
Well, I mean, they got a central water system, which has to meet state requirements and has to have a certified operator. It's one of the reasons when we let these smaller lots go, is because we know that they're on a central system that that's subject to professional review and responsibility. That's one of the reasons you get variances to where this chopped it up, because I don't think we would have let him chop this lots up. I know I wouldn't have voted to let him chop it up, because High Meadows already is a one-way in, one-way out situation with a lot of houses. But
Sounds like a rock between a hard place.
What was that?
Rock between a hard place.
Very much wrong.
and
Lot of
I
rock.
interrupted you, Sam. You were going to say
I was just, where is the water tap that,
The water tap, you see Green's lot there? Okay, it's clear at the other end of the Green's lot even. I think it's over across the road there a little bit.
could you hand him the pointer, please?
Silver button.
This is Green's lot here. Right in there is where that water line.
Am I missing the point?
Right here.
Yeah, right in there.
Comes down to their property.
I'm sorry,
that screen doesn't show up very well.
I see it now, though. I know what he's saying. It's on the corner of Snyder's and Greens.
It's further up than the corner. By the, yeah.
There's a service line on to Greens place.
Is that a easement road? Is that road coming in there on a easement? How that's set up?
Yes,
Yeah, on the plat it shows it.
access and utility.
And
Yep.
that is a utility easement too?
Yeah,
Yes.
it looks like it's 66 feet wide. Additional questions?
So it looks like, if I measure on Beacon, it looks like your water tap, or your water line, you'd have to come down 271 feet to the top of your property.
To the lot line, yeah.
Yeah,
Then her house is 250.
of where she wants to build.
Yeah.
The lot line between there.
But either way, she's got to run the water from that corner to the house.
Right.
Because the well is there now.
Yeah.
Well's probably
Yeah, so
30
if,
feet from the house now.
so if we go where you said the well is, that's an additional 80 feet approximately. About 400 feet of water line to dig in.
I think I would like to know more from the water
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm not comfortable with this one. I feel like
Can you explain to me again why it was important for you to have the community well and not a well there?
Because of the acreage size.
And what, I don't know.
Because our ordinance states that you have to have, anything 9 acres or more can have a well. Anything under 9 acres cannot have a well.
And why is that?
It was an ordinance that we put into place.
Just to keep the smaller lots from happening.
Well, it's to actually encourage people to,
water systems.
yeah. They want to do smaller lots have to do it where there's an available water system. Especially up in this recharge area. Well, people can make motions or recommendations.
One more question. Do I understand that there was no contract with the driller?
We'll normally get it. A lot of money.
As a homeowner, I would advocate.
That's why I said that. This guy up at top hired they don't come out when you. Got tired of waiting for that. There's another driller. Right before that, so first one that he hired showed up. It's probably common that they don't have a written contract.
I have to have a lot, I signed the contract.
Oh, yeah.
I feel sympathy a lot.
But
If allow this, then water corporation.
Mike, can you turn your...
Yeah, Commissioner Faulkner brought up that, you know, you do have this water agreement with this organization, and this was all part of the original understanding, and it was brought to my attention by Commissioner Wolzak, is that, Chairman, that, you know, 7 years, the 7-year itch, 7 years after this, things have changed or interpretations have changed. Unfortunately, we have to have some type of conformity to our standards and ordinances, and I'm afraid this one's just too far of a stretch for me to be comfortable to endorse.
Yeah, and I would agree with you, Mike. I am, I'm uncomfortable with this to the fact that I really can't support it because of the, several different issues, and the huge one being that the contract with the water company was originally signed, and yes, I know that it's been over 10 years that it was signed, but I know from my own experiences that if I go to do anything on my own property, I make certain that I'm checking things out, and I feel bad, but I can't support this.
You have the agreement we signed on prior to this.
I didn't see anything about an expiration when I went through, when I reviewed the information. Tanya, did you see anything?
No, and I sent it to Mr. Kleberad, the county assistant attorney.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not,
Yeah, when I reviewed it, I didn't see anything.
When did it become,
been 9-acre lots since I've lived in the county.
Yeah.
Since
it was, how long has it been?
30 years is when I've been.
Yes.
I had to come in, and because the place we bought had a mobile home and a house on it, and a well, and I had to get a variance to get rid of the mobile home and then for them to approve the well with a change. So, and the only way they would give me the blessing was I had to remove the second home, so I was getting rid of a home. So, looking for, is somebody going to make a motion here? Heavy sigh there. You make a motion to recommend to the commission to deny.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion.
For me, this would have been more palatable if you were coming to us originally that bedrock was too expensive to get through. You had some documentation, some quotes of what that would cost, and then you need a variance to maybe put a well on. But to just throw the well on and now come back and say that there's bedrock, et cetera, it's a tough sell. So I would.
So if we could show somehow that there is so much bedrock there that you
I don't think anybody can guarantee it because I don't know what that means. I think so. Those things would have been
ahead of time. Yeah,
there might have been.
Yeah.
Might be some things that could be considered, but nobody's going to guarantee anything because I don't know what it means. You're sitting here making all kinds of representations. Just making those representations doesn't carry much weight. Other discussion? Seeing none, those in favor of recommending to the commission to deny the variance signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
If we would, hit from the water system.
I'm going to close this matter. We're going to have to move on. I'm not going to sit here and speculate
I'm
on
sorry.
different. I'm not going to speculate on different avenues you could take on some of this.
Just was wondering if there was we're done.
Well, I mean, I think the ordinance, you can apply for a variance, but I think there's a period of time before you can apply again.
Even though this is denied, it still goes to county commissioners
Yes.
for final decision. So September 23rd will be heard by the county commissioners for final decision. This is a recommendation from the planning board to the county.
And you said too, that I can still use the well, I just can't have it.
You can, as this gentleman noted, there is not somebody else sunk a well for irrigation purposes. We don't regulate those. It's the building permit that triggers the need to hook to the community water system. I believe I said that correctly, didn't I?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time, everybody.
All right, so we've already dealt with 4B, so let's go to old business 5A, final plats of lots 1R, 2R, 3, 4, and 5. Horizon Estates.
Yep, Mr. Freitag is here. We've been working on the final plats.
Coming up, he's walking up the red carpet as we speak.
This is filing of that plat, final plat of it. We've done the preliminaries and the final and on the roads there, the ditches there, the ditch is hydroseeded.
It is.
Lean in a little closer, or pull that closer, please.
Okay, and the ditches are there, they're all hydroseeded. And we're, after this phase here, we'll go from that cul-de-sac, we're doing our engineering now to bring a water line and electric line to the west. That's the next lots that I have.
So, all infrastructure's in, the water system's running a whole bit?
Yeah.
Yes, yep.
Good.
So the one thing is on the cul-de-sac, Bill and I have discussed in the center of the cul-de-sac, there's existing utilities right now, and he is bringing them to the north that will tie to the west.
We're getting ready to do that, so we're going to move those. There's a power box in there, and that'll actually get moved to the west.
So in the meantime, so we made the cul-de-sac from a 66-foot to a 75-foot. The highway superintendent and I did take a trailer and a pickup, and we were able to make that turn very easily. But yes, Troy Eastman and I did go visit the site. Compaction reports are in, everything's hydroseeded, water's in, power's in. We did add a drainage easement on the west side of the property to collect the culvert that sits here underneath, drains through to a dry pond right now, but that's all been picked up. Additional right-of-way along Elk Creek Road has been dedicated to the public for Altrurio Road.
No, we did increase the right-of-way on the Horizon Road, the cul-de-sac road there too. We increased that because it comes off of Elk Creek, which has a different designation. So I think we've got everything. I think we did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah. Anything else staff has?
No.
Any questions for Bill or staff? Right.
I'll move approval of the plat as presented.
I would second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve plat as presented as final plat. Any discussions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right.
Okay,
Thanks
thanks
for coming
very
in,
much.
Bill.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good luck with everything.
Thanks for bringing a clean
Well,
plat to us,
I'm getting a little better at it. I think the next one I'll get even
Oh,
getting used to.
we won't bring out the red carpet next time.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, guys.
Okay. Preliminary plat.
Okay, Shannon Boston, Spaceline Surveying. We seen the Smith plat last meeting, but it was a different lot configuration. If you remember, there was 4 lots just running north and south along Dunn. But looking into Black Hills Energy would be close to 4,000 feet from this property, because Black Hills Energy was going to service the 2 lots, and then Butte Electric is going to serve would have going to service what you see on the map as 3 and 4. So basically, we reconfigured the lots so everything comes off of 194th, so that Butte Electric is basically the provider for electric. So we did receive a revised letter from Butte saying that they can provide for all 4 lots. And then basically the north line of these lots is basically, that's the split, the jurisdiction between Black Hills Energy and Butte Electric. So
when you say comes off 194th, you mean the power all comes off 194th?
correct, yep.
But the access doesn't.
Right, yep. Just power, yep. So, well, backing up, I mean, all of these lots are they're within Butte Electric's provider area, so. So then we updated the water letter from Butte Meade Water to state that it will service 4 lots. Previously, that letter was pretty vague and just said they'll provide water, so we got that. Postmaster did go on site and put a stake on site where she wants the cluster mailbox. At that time, it was based on the old lot configuration, so more than likely there's going to be an approach just 150 feet west of that stake, so more than likely she's going to put that right on the existing private drive approach. So, but we'll get verification on that. So, yep. So the lots, as you can see, we have proposed lots 1 through 4 again. Dedicated public right-of-way as required on both Dunn and 194th. Lot 3 and Lot 2, we need an access because the approach on Lot 3, that's the high point in the road. So that's where we place the access there. Where Lot 2 and 3 come together, it's just basically at the bottom of the hill and doesn't really feel that like it's a safe spot for a new approach. So we're just creating an access through 3 to get to Lot 2 for the benefit of both those lots. So.
Wow.
Is that a drainage?
Yep, the drainage squiggly line.
Yes, so
Yep.
is the approach for Lot 2 going to have a
No, Lot 2 is going to use the approach on Lot 3.
Yeah, they've got a long.
Oh.
We got a long,
access.
skinny. Yeah, I'll end up
Oh, I
patching that
see.
kind of different. Yep. So. Yep.
Um,
And then Lot 1, it
well-
fits really well to have that approach right there in the southwest corner of that lot.
Yeah, I do like the fact that you acknowledge the way Lot 2 is coming in. It doesn't make any that drainage. I don't know how big it is, but it'd be
Yeah.
a
Yep.
to get across.
Yep.
It looks like.
So.
I'm a little concerned that 30 feet, since it's running parallel with the right of way, is maybe a little narrow. That maybe they're going to need a little bit more there because I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want them right on the.
Okay. Yeah, I just put that in recommendation because right now we got the 33 and the 27 on 194.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, in the future. So if we want to make that a 40 or whatever you guys recommend, or just give me some recommendations on that if you would. So, and then we can. I think we've done 40s before.
Culvert 32?
6.
36-inch culvert sits here.
Yep.
That's why that's
Where?
right here. That's why that drainage is so big. It's a 36-inch culvert.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
Yep.
the
So you're-
driveway access.
Right here, make it a little.
Well, I'm just talking. I don't.
The width,
I'm not
right?
a real big fan of a road that's paralleling, because all of a sudden you got somebody who's driving down at night, driving down the
Oh, I
driveway with the
see.
brights on, and somebody's coming the opposite way, and they're like trying to figure out if they're in their lane or not.
Right.
You know, it used to be
I see
by
what you're saying
Piedmont,
now.
the frontage road could throw you
Yeah.
off when you're on the interstate thinking
Yeah,
traffic.
yeah.
So I mean, would be inclined to say maybe that needs to be 40 and first 10 feet off, the driveway has to be a minimum of 15, 10 or 15 feet off of the section line. So he's not building it right. I know it takes a little more room from him, but just, you know, especially with it, you said it's a hill there too.
Yes.
Yeah, you can have somebody come over that hill and go where, or coming up that hill.
So at that point, yeah, they're when they
coming up
turn in, they're gonna stay on, well, it's gonna drop a little bit, yeah. So yeah, that is pretty much a crest there, so.
Yeah, well, they'll be coming down the hill on the driveway where somebody's coming. That's where you
Right.
potential problems where somebody's trying to figure out where that car is at.
The elevation of the field where the new driveway would go, that's above that drainage, so it does stay a little higher, but it's still gonna be, if that happens, I mean, it's still gonna be
Yeah,
kinda confusing.
probably not as bad as that frontage road because
Right.
traffic, but
Same elevation.
yeah, it sounds like you have that. A couple times I get on that interstate, I go, where the hell is that guy coming from? Oh, he's on the frontage
Exactly,
road.
yeah, that was a good analogy of, yeah.
So,
So I think what you're saying, we could make that a 40-foot width, but require the actual road to be built.
at least 10 feet off of the section.
Off of that,
Yeah, just so we
okay.
give him a little distance from,
Okay.
more distance from the road.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it's just kind of a safety deal. It's not, you know, odds are most people are gonna figure it out, but about the time some high school kid's coming home and freaks out because it looks like something.
Okay.
The reason you would have them coming in there is because the hill that creates a blind spot and trying to have a more at the bottom of the hill.
Correct. That's the only, yep, that's the
Yeah.
exact reason. There was enough room between the drainage and that lot line, but it just, from the viewpoint, it just didn't make sense,
Yeah,
for
okay.
safety. Yep. I didn't have a good feeling that one would get approved by Troy, so that's why. So that's why I just moved it up top. Then that top's flat for a while, so it's pretty nice. But I mean, you can obviously see every direction very safely. So at that point,
So that top is about where the new approach is?
the top, I placed that proposed new approach for 2 and 3 about in the middle of the top flat part.
Okay, so yeah.
Yep.
And you're coming downhill, driving.
And then it goes downhill to the
West.
intersection, downhill towards the drainage. But
Yeah.
it's not so much downhill. You can see the road the whole time, standing at the top. So.
The approach for lot 4.
Yeah, so the approach for lot 4 will probably come in right at the corner between 3 and 4. Because we are retaining an access for up in the northeast corner of lot 4 just to get into that field up there on the top. There's a kind of a natural area that you would utilize there. So we're gonna, while we're planning on, we're just gonna reserve that easement, right, just for that future land up to the north part. So if lot 4 puts their lot or their approach in their southeast corner, that area, we do meet the 150-foot wide separation.
Questions? Additional questions?
Reference the condition about the building without a permit. Is that something that was addressed? Or?
That was addressed.
Yes.
But Tanya can.
Yeah, those are all addressed. That was the existing approval, but yeah, it has been addressed.
How is it?
Oh, they came in and got a building permit.
Thank you.
Yep.
So reference to subdivision agreement.
Yes, I will work with the assistant attorney on drafting that for final plating.
Okay.
So, we've got on here no fire protection. Is required to only 4 lots. Long before they come
I think 6 triggers 10,000 gallons. Yeah. So if they were to come in with 4 more lots, they would have to put in a 10,000 gallon tank.
in. Is that the intent?
No, I mean, their main goal is to create 4 lots. So one way or the other, and they felt that was going to put them in a position where they could live comfortably where they are at with all their improvements and stuff. So, but you never know that. So,
huh?
You know, I mean, you never
know
that. So,
3 weeks down the road, here we go.
So.
Okay, additional questions, thoughts? Does staff want to see that location on the plat for the approach for Lot 4 then?
Yeah, we didn't call that one out because when I was out there, you can put it in a couple places as long as it meets the site distance or the distance spacing requirement. The intersection, which it does, that's a pretty long flat road, Dunn Road is, so I didn't ask for one on Lot 4, no.
Okay. Lots of questions?
I'll make a motion to approve with staff recommendations of a written agreement to refrain from further subdivision for 12 months. Must be submitted unless a master plan is submitted. And no additional subdivision is permitted. For the associated variance with ordinance 20 unless the road is brought up to county spec. And did you want to have a location of
The driveway,
approach?
Well, I want the driveway to go to 40 and that they got to build the driveway at least 10 feet off the property line.
That our easement is 40 feet, driveway easement, and that it's a 10-foot buffer in between.
Yeah, road surface has to be at least 10 feet off of the property line. Or off of the, it's dedicated section line through there. Right?
I'm good. I was just
or
gonna
off 10 feet off the right of way.
make sure Max is good.
Did
Second
you
the
want
motion.
did you want the subdivision agreement to be a part of that? Petition?
Yeah, with the staff recommendations of that.
Okay, and the Lot 4, you mentioned the Lot 4 approach.
Yeah, the Lot 4 approach be noted on the final plat. The Lot 4 approach on the plat, on the final?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
You're all right with that? Okay.
Yep.
Then I'm good.
All right, moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go to 5C, preliminary plats of lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and well lot of Bulldog Estate.
Okay, Shannon Vossens again. We did look at this one last month with we had a lot of conversation, which come down to water for these lots. So, and then one of the other additions was to plat the remaining parcel into one lot. So, Aaron's here with us. So, what we did is we basically took the rest of the campground which is all in Lot 5, as you can see there, and then we added the drainage that goes through there as well with drainage easements. So again, the plans were submitted previous, and then basically what we're doing at this point, we're using the existing water source. We had El Sage drop a report based on what that current system is, gallons per minute, storage, all that information. So we're just bringing that over to the lots and then distribute lines based on that. So the easements that you see there are existing lines. There's only a short little stretch that does need to be added in during construction phase. So I'm trying to think what else, but I think that's pretty much it. Because last meeting we did have a couple variances approved. One was like section line right away, dedication and things like that. So, but based on last meeting, the main topic was the water system. So,
Shannon, since I wasn't here last meeting, will the well be used for the campground and the?
Yes. Currently, it's set up to where it is okay. Used for the campground okay. and I believe it has just shy. I think on El Sage's report, it was 30,000 gallons of storage.
Okay.
For that reason, basically rally, of course, is a big one. So, but again,
and then that actually is along Pleasant Valley Drive, not Pleasant Valley Road.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll correct that. So.
And then I have another question, and it's just a general question. It's my understanding that the Bulldog was sold or taken over by different management, I guess, at this point. Are they aware of the transportation plans through with 90 and things like that in the coming years? I know this is divided by the railroad, but...
Right. So I believe Aaron was one of the original partners of that, and he just bought out partners. So as far as I know, so yep.
Okay, so you were in with Zach? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Other questions? As I understand, the water system as it exists works. You just have to put service lines in?
Correct, yep.
So, further questions? Is there anybody else here to speak to this plat? And on preference for action?
Move approval of the preliminary plat contingent upon the staff's recommendation that a written agreement to refrain from further subdivision for 12 months be submitted unless a master plan is received prior to the final plat.
I'll second.
Assuming they're going to build instead of bond?
Yes.
So, been moved and seconded to approve the plat, subject to the staff's conditions as stated. Discussion on the motion. And then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Pass then. Go to. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just make a motion. Where somebody, they want to defer.
I make a motion to defer until the clients are or the requesters are ready to come back prior to the expiration of the application.
Second.
Moved and seconded to allow the deferral. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that passes unanimously. How about 5B? Defer the Diamond Estates preliminary plat.
Make a motion to defer as stated.
Second.
Motion to defer until the applicant desires to bring it back, as long as they do it before the... All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passed unanimously. New business, form of intent, proposed subdivision.
Me.
Yep. Stanley Little. What do we got going on here, Shannon?
Okay, so this is a piece of property. I don't know how many miles east of Sturgis here, way out there, but in eastern Meade County, what they're doing is it's a large ranch to where the owner is going to plat 2-3 acre lots for family. Sounds like one family's going to build immediately, and the other one potentially in the next 1 to 5 years. So what we have an existing. We just I had it pretty close, but we want to bring it to as a form of intent because I had a couple concerns or just opinions I wanted from you guys. So on the north of Lot 1, there's a section line. It's basically a pasture ground used for ag use. So didn't know, my thought was to put in variance to not dedicate the south 33 feet of that, and of course, or the north. I mean, this is an owner that owns both sides. So again, it's pasture land. There's not a road established or anything there. So if anything, it's a trail for just to get out to their pasture. So, but we do have the road in front that we are proposing to dedicate the 33 feet of that of 172nd Avenue. So then, other than that, it's pretty straightforward. There's another home on this property that utilizes the well. The well produces basically 12 gallons per minute. Ordinance requires 15. So I was going to talk with them about whether just have that checked out to see if a 15-gallon minute pump if that well can sustain with that type of pump in there. So those are just where we're at with this one so far, but it was more road improvements and dedication of right-of-ways. Just wanted your guys' feel on this one. So, I mean, based on where it's at, I know that shouldn't make a difference, but this one feels like it does. You know what I mean? It's just, like I said, it's way out in the county. But so that's where I just wanted to get this one in front of you guys and get your thoughts.
You said there's existing water?
There is yes, this is an existing well that the ranch has had for a long time.
Located on the well lot?
Yes, yep.
Okay. Well, that's an existing well lot, or?
Yes, yep, existing well is there.
We'll dedicate a well lot.
Right, got it.
Yep. So the water line currently goes south down that direction, and it'll go through the southern lot, Lot 2, and then it basically, once it gets past there, then it's back on ranch property, and it curls around over to the southwest there to hit the existing home, so existing ranch house. So.
Well, you're gonna have to work on the well. Here's just my thoughts, Shannon, on that section line on the north. Probably see that as a variance. Only problem being is then you're gonna have to make that lot bigger, because if it ever gets dedicated, I wouldn't want that lot to fall. And
okay.
I'm not real comfortable with the size of lots to begin with. The well lot, such as located, is probably too small, doesn't show necessarily access to the well lot. You know, to get to there, if somebody has to get there and there's a dispute.
Okay.
My concern is you end up with these family deals and all of a sudden, 5 years later, the bank forecloses on one of them and then the guy is out there shutting off water because he's pissed at the bank.
Right. Right.
So-
And I think the reasoning, not to interrupt, but I think the reasoning for the smaller lots is for mortgage purposes. But
Well,
I try to say, hey, how about 40 acres? But
yeah, well, the nines are,
he must not love his children that much. But no, I'm just kidding. But
yeah, the nines will get you a standard mortgage.
Right.
So, is this a family deal?
Yes. Yep.
I mean, those jump out at me. I'm not telling you that I'm sold yet on these smaller lots. I mean,
So they would have a written well share agreement.
Yes. Yep.
Because this handshake stuff is really starting to freak me out.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. So, and that is required. So.
2 handshakes in one day. Right.
other thoughts and comments about the approach location?
Would approach on lot 1 make any difference with the maximum allowable road length?
From the intersection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can put it, you zoom into that.
Or, I'm sorry, lot 2.
Oh, lot 2?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Down by that, because I think the original homestead uses. Right behind lot 2. Yep. Is that line? I believe the driveway is right on the south line of lot 2. But I'll double check that, because that's how they get back to. And if not, we'll place a private access easement across there.
That would be best. And that well lot is, that one's a big kind of red flag at the moment, the way that it sits, which is having that well lot out in the middle of nowhere. But as long as you have there's the well share agreement, but there needs to be access.
Yep.
For maintenance, yeah.
Well, I can make larger well lot and then maybe just make the water line easements wider. You know, if I make a 30-foot wide, use access and access, maintenance, repair, and utilities. So that way, if there was ever a dispute in between there, they'd have more than enough room to drive. Stay within the easement, and it's flat. I mean, right in there. Or we can make access to the section line also. Yeah, I mean, it's once you get off up north where it just turns off, that's a fairly decent. It has the width is nowhere close, but it has decent gravel to there. And then this is basically just the only people that use this road that goes north and south here is this particular ranch. It gets pretty. I mean, it does go down south, maybe for trails, certain types of the year that other landowners use, but not very often. So, yeah, to answer your question, is not a well. It's not doesn't even come close. Yeah, but either does the road from there, up. So.
You're talking about Haydraw Road?
Yes, yep.
Haydraw Road's not to county spec either, none of them are. We're out
Out in that area.
Springs Road.
I don't know what people think about the size of the lot. Kind of surprised me. How deep's that well? I thought it was tough to get water out in that area.
That well is, the way he explained to me, it was a large bore well. It's not very deep, and then they have a special type of pump. So I'm not a well guy, but so I need to have him come and explain that system. At least we'll meet with staff or something, because it has production, but I don't think it's nothing great, but because water is tough, I think, in that area.
Yeah, water's tough in that area.
Would you want a well report then from a certified well?
I think you're going to need
Operator
something for 3 houses, especially if it's only. You're probably going to need that for somebody to come in and even say you can produce 15 gallons. Their comments and thoughts. Other questions you want to ask about Shannon? Within reason.
No, I think I'm good. I think I covered everything I wanted to.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll move on. Thanks, Shannon.
All right,
Hopefully we
thank you.
provided some direction.
Thank you.
So we're going to go to a public hearing, but what I'm going to do is we're going to take a 10-minute break before we go to our 2:30 public hearing. Okay. All right.
How long of a break?
10.
Okay.
Go back at 2:40. We'll just say. By 2:40 by my cell phone, not that clock, which I always.
Okay.
Always a couple minutes slow.
You're leaving us?
Okay.
Oh,
I know.
but it's so pretty out there. Virginia's a great state. Yeah, Virginia's nice. Great.
Parkway and all that.
Yeah.
I'm
Good for
excited.
you. Good.
I'm
Well, you know what? We're gonna miss you. That's for
We're
sure.
gonna miss everybody.
Always
I
fun.
am. They finally found me.
And you can always come back.
Awful long drive.
What part? I was a cop.
Springfield.
Yeah, I was a cop in DeKalb.
So how's Toby? I'm wonderful. I have no complaints. I know that.
Yes.
And then we send them out.
Yes.
Now.
Got
Let
rid of
them do all.
Yeah. What he was trying to do here. Are in,
Orbit a little better.
Yeah. Oh, Hewitt, they wanted to redo 120. Okay, 220.
Oh, okay.
The private, he wanted to do it privately. But if you read the state statute, that's where it's at. That's where I read it. Yeah, to make the recommendation. Oh.
Very selective.
I can't have my own smell.
What is your riding route?
So, Oh, my word, that was a fiasco.
Oh, my cousin.
That they had to catalog. Oh,
It was insane. That was really crazy. But outside Kirby Head, there was
We got back.
tiny porcelain bar pipes and yeah. Up in Deadwood. And
Barbie doll saga.
they were
All right, you guys ready? Everybody back? Okay, we're gonna reopen the public hearing that we had continued to this time date previously. I'm gonna start with why don't we, Mr. Morris, why don't we just start with you and you kind of explain the TIF, and then, you know, Mr. Jordan has some comments, so he can come up afterwards and put his comments in, but after you talk, that he might clarify some of his comments or have an impact on some of those. Now, you had come and talked to us at a working meeting a couple weeks ago. I think everybody was in attendance there. So I look to the board whether you want him to give a quick synopsis, just to refresh everybody's memory, or how you guys want to approach this. This is a continuance of the previous public hearing. Yep. Yeah, so give us just a quick synopsis of what this TIF's about and how just generally this TIF would work.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. For the record, Toby Morris with Collier Securities, based out of Pierre. We serve as a municipal advisor for a lot of city, counties, schools, state of South Dakota as well, and in particular do a lot of tax increment financing work. As a continuation from the public meeting that we had here a couple weeks ago, what you have before you is what I'm going to refer to as a government TIF. When we look at tax increment within the state, there's two ways to approach it. You can have the developer who's putting in the infrastructure, which is then they would go and rely on their own projections for the source of repayment. And then what you have here is you have the government who is putting in the vital infrastructure and using the tax increment as a way to pay back those expenditures that they have or will make within their budget. Both are very common as we see the approach within the state. Typically, you see more 90% developer, 10% government, but as the economy has gone on, we're seeing governments are being forced, I hate to say the word forced, but going into the tax increment because resources are extremely limited. So what I want to stress on this is that there is not true debt per se that is being issued. Yes, I'm known as a bond person. If Ms. Doreen was here, she would say I would be putting you in debt, and that's not the case today. But rather, we're showing you a tool that can reimburse the expenditures that will be made back to the general fund that are being expended. One of the hardest parts of a TIF is the projections. You're trying to project into the future. You're forced to project into the future. In a perfect world, we'd be able to do this 3 years from now and come back and recapture, but that's not allowed because you have to create the base today and project of what you're seeing in the future. I think we can all agree that this is going to be an area of high growth, right or wrong, but nonetheless, it's nothing that you can stop. And with that growth comes an impact to the infrastructure. That main infrastructure is at Haynes Avenue that runs to the north of Rapid City. And so what we did is we tried to capture the areas that we would look again as going to be the increment that's going to repay back the county for the expenditures on that. It's a fragile magic. By no means are these projections something that you would want to live and die by, but we hope within a year or two what we can do is we can hone in a little bit more and understand what historical is, because I'm very technical. In order to project accurately, we went back and looked at what your growth rate has been in this county. We didn't use much more than 3%. Your growth rate in the county as a whole is anywhere from about 2.5 to 2.8%. But that's countywide, so that could be anywhere from White Owl to Somerset to whatever. Knowing that this is going to be more of a higher growth, I would say realistically in a couple of years you might see that 5 to 8%. But then again, for conservative basis, we took into account that 3. We took into account what the existing expenditures are going to be, plus the potential of phase 2 down the road. The nice thing again on this is it's not money that goes to a developer, so we're not worried about the interest rate a developer may be charging or receiving from their bank, but rather this is a reimbursement to the government itself. We've sent the plan on to Department of Revenue. They reviewed it. They generally look for any technical issues, did not see it. We had the public meeting here 2 weeks ago. The Department of Revenue has viewed it as a local TIF, even though in the plan, I mentioned the words quite a bit of economic development. It's a broad use. I would think anything related to infrastructure in the state is development. New infrastructure could be viewed as positive development, because in order to any kind of responsible growth, planned growth, you have to have that infrastructure that's in there. I could go on, Mr. Chair. I guess maybe I'd look for specific questions. I can point to anything in the plan.
Well, I'm going to just give a bit background too. For the record, this has been said before, but I'm going to say it again. This is Haynes Avenue. It's a county project. The road's going to get built. It needs to be rebuilt. The road is deteriorated substantially based on the development that's already occurred in that area, and it's going to continue to occur. The last time I was up here a month ago, I think I said that the budget for the highway department was $9 million, and Commissioner Liggett said he wishes, I think it's like 6 is what they have to spend on all maintenance and equipment a year. So this project's going to be $4-ish million plus. The only reason this project can get done is the county has been saving nickels and dimes and being frugal and putting some money away with the intent to do this project. Commissioner Liggett and I, Commissioner Liggett lives over by Box Elder. Both of us served on planning before we were on the commission, and we can just see this development. You know, a lot of people say they don't want growth. It's going to happen. The whole question is, can we do it in a way to maybe have the impact not be so dire? And our thought always was on this: if we could ever get enough money together to put Haynes together to try to TIF the project, so then that the funds then that are generated over the course of the year can go back into like a capital account to be used for road projects in the future. And that's kind of what's the motivation here. I want to make clear that Mr. Morris was hired by the county because the TIF paperwork has to be done, and we don't have anybody on staff that has that expertise. And that paperwork's an essential portion of it, and going to the and to send to the state. And in Mr. Morris's defense, he was ready to try to go argue for us to get this to be an economic development TIF. And I said I didn't think that would be, I didn't want to be arguing that in front of the state, because why I think there will be a lot of economic development. Why I think that if you look at this area, there's going to be commercial development in this area. We don't have guarantees of that. And so, you know, when the state was leaning that way, I told them I didn't think it was worth a fight. I'd just soon be upfront and with the state on that, rather than fight with them and try to be what some people perceive as TIFs of people just trying to take advantage of, you getting that economic development designation or that commercial development designation. We don't have zoning. So I expect we'll see some commercial development out there. Especially if that airport project goes forward. But we're going to need the road. And the other clarification, again, because people might be watching, and I think everybody on here and the dais has kind of figured it out, is none of the money is going for any of the development, the private projects. This is just for the rebuild of Haynes. And that road needs a rebuild. So that's my mini speech, I guess. But I think it's important that those issues are out there and are laid out. There was, and I'm going to ask you just the initial question before I turn you over to the board. There was a lot of questions about whether, from different individuals, about whether being in the TIF district changes their taxes or puts a special tax on them. Can you address that?
The answer would be no. They're all treated equally as they have been before, so it wouldn't change any of their classification from owner-occupied to ag to whatever. It's all treated the same, whether you're in the TIF district or outside of the TIF district on that. The entities that are in the TIF still receive the amount that they would request, whether it be the fire district, ambulance district, if you had a library district. So if they still request their funds, they would receive their funds. They still limit to, I think, the 3% growth factor that is now in place. So they still have to adhere to the codified laws on that basis.
Yeah, and the 3% growth factor you're talking about, that's the growth factor that's placed upon the entire, all government entities. Correct. That you can't grow your budget by more than 3% or inflation, whichever's less.
Correct.
So it's yeah, we still live within that confine. Okay, questions for Mr. Morris or comments? I know that this has been, and as I've said to this board, I take it on myself that I probably didn't kind of encourage and educate some more of this before this hit you. Hopefully we've made up for some of that.
I do have a question for Toby. It's been presented or requested that there's two parcels or two pieces of property that aren't included in the TIF. Is that a common occurrence that you've seen in other TIF districts? That they aren't included in the TIF?
As many TIFs as I've worked on, I don't think the word common comes to mind because they're all have their own story to tell.
Okay.
So there again, it's the local control. It'd be the recommendation of the planning here if you would want to include them, and we could recommend that up to the county and have that in the plan, if that would be your recommendation.
Thank you. And then I guess I have a question for Talbot, and that is the properties that are asking to not be included because of potential Erskine Road development maybe in the future.
Yeah, I think, and
help me understand.
Yeah, I don't want to
that.
speak for Mr. Jordan because he's here to speak to it. We have gotten some emails from Cellular Ranches, which is, I'm just going to stand and point. Probably.
Yeah.
No, here, I'll just point it out. I know it. So the one thing about this is,
it's this way.
North here, you know.
Yeah.
So this is the Cellular Ranch. There was a study done on what we called the East-West Connector. So, and Stan was on the board when we did it. West Connector was a study that looked at our first East-West Connector. It would be good to have as development comes out. So part of the issue becomes when you do these reasons you do these studies is it can show you viable locations, and then also then when somebody comes to develop, you can say. Oh yeah, if you got a copy of the study, that'd be great.
Thank you.
He did.
Overachiever.
Teacher's pet is what I call him. Thanks, John. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so there were different, I lost my page here. Anya,
Anya.
lost my map. So if I got to finish pointing.
Where was that east-west connector?
So this is the cellular line. Look at this map. Come from Erskine Ranch Road through here. There were different alternatives.
No, but I'm going to rotate on you. There you go.
So it comes from here. This is Erskine Ranch Road. So there were different avenues looked at. John will correct me if I'm wrong. I think there were 12 that were looked at originally. Oh, they're all 12 were. Yeah, so there's 12 different alternatives, and then they came in and recommended certain ones. And essentially, the highest priority, or the most likely one, comes across in this area, stops over here. Kind of sort of stays on top, coming over to this side. So, as I take Mr. Borgmeyer's comments, parcel, he prefer those be out of this tip, so the upper comes in. That land should be available to get a portion of the connection across. And I think that's a legitimate point, because I'd love to have that east-west connector. It would help with a lot of traffic flow, especially as development comes through. And, you know, somebody comes in to develop that ranch, we're going to put a lot of roads on him. That east-west connector is going to be a big.
Sure.
So that's how I understand Mr. Borgmeyer's comments, that he thinks given our study that portion should be out because of that. I hope that helps.
Did. Thank you.
But that east-west connector was an interesting study. Sam, like I said, was on the board. Has been looked at. It was a fairly extensive study. You have a question, Mr. Morris? Did I cause some confusion?
So we would still have property on one side, but not on the other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from a technical standpoint, as long as contiguous happens, legally you'd be fine?
That'd be my, yep. So I think Mr. Jordan has a comment on, Mr. Jordan, you want to come up right now since we're talking about this? Mr. Jordan was involved in attending a lot of the meetings as a landowner out there on the east-west connector. He's had some comments on different ones, and rather than just excusing Mr. Morris, you can sit there. We got an extra mic right now, and you can talk a bit about that.
We can share legal opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just.
Yeah, he's just a cowboy.
John Jordan, landowner and part of the TIF. So I'll make a few general comments and then I'll comment on the handouts. And then I left some questions for you because I wasn't sure if it'd be comments or questions or where it would be at. But anyway, Jordan Ranch ground identified in TIF 4. Floodplain, soils, topography, water, some but not all the issues that limit development on our property located on the North Haines Avenue. Commissioners have stated that poor soils are the reason for no expansion of North Haines road width. It's just a tough area to develop, in my opinion. Banker financing. Our ag banker finds no adjustments in our loan from an ag perspective for the TIF. A commercial banker looking at development loan may have a view that single existing TIF already on land with no potential for further TIF can affect sale price and loan amount. And that is why I was requesting to pull the part adjacent to the east-west connector out.
Yours right here.
Yes. Yep.
And so, and I wanted to make sure, because I thought that was your request, but.
Yes. No, we use the road. I don't know that, but anyway, we'll continue here. Future considerations, the county may want to inventory and prioritize roads so that upgrades and maintenance costs are borne by developments. Handouts, I'm including a map from the Southern Meade County study and a list of questions for your consideration. 100-year floodplain is shown on 2 drainages in the TIF. And I think I gave out all my questions, but which is fine. But if you notice up on Haynes Avenue, so back to the handout, what I'm asking, I draw your attention to is the blue is the 100-year floodplain. And that, since my dad was in your position, has been the limiting factor of why we've never been able to really do anything with our ranch other than ranch it. It by the time you cut I'll say the interior of the ranch out along Box Elder Creek, there's not enough fragmented pieces to put us in the development business. So we just continue to ranch it. So that is the blue adjacent to Haynes Avenue, and then the blue on the top of the page up by Elk Creek, you actually have, and it's your business, land clear up off of Elk Creek that's on Elk Creek in the TIF also. And so you've got land, depending on how you now treat the 100-year floodplain, that you're hoping to develop by identifying it as TIF potential, but really has no basis, in my opinion, unless you change your ordinances, which I just can't believe. One final side note that's always perplexed me that I'm going to go ahead and ask it, but on Elk Creek, you'll notice that the 100-year floodplain suddenly stops in the direction of flow, and no one's been able to ever answer that one, but I'm sidetracking you right now. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that has to do with, that's where the study stops.
Oh, okay. The study?
Well, no.
No, I think there's a little bit more complicated.
Well.
But anyway, I've left a set of questions because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to ask questions for you to contemplate whether you need to ask. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
So as to there's going to be some floodplain. These are large, and we've got some areas that are going to be subject to flooding. But with the TIF, some of these larger parcels they're going to be taken in. There's some of it's maybe developable, some of it isn't. Maybe it'll develop, maybe it won't. We're not in control of it. So I think these are fair boundaries that are going to benefit from the road.
Just so you understand, if we blew this up and looked at just our particular property, you've got one little section on one end and one little section on the south end, and literally between the soils and the floodplain, there's nothing that we could develop.
Yeah.
And so maybe for continuity purposes, you've included us, and I guess I get that, and I'm fine with that. But you see what I'm getting at. The area where you may put the road across, I would like to have that pulled out because for the same reason.
Is that Mr. Borkmeyer had a concern?
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't go back behind the Hale Place low because that Hale Place is not maintained by the county.
Is that question number?
That's your question number 3. I mean, it didn't, to get back to that area and then to take in that there was no reason to get back in there.
But you see, you did include my road.
Yeah.
And I maintain that too.
Just because we like you better.
Oh, okay.
So
I must do a better job.
Yeah. As you have a question, then does the planning board need to be more involved in future road planning to access development requirements of the road? Most of the members of this board haven't sat through a comprehensive plan. Sam has had the luck of sitting through at least one comprehensive plan, maybe, and a road plan. So we do those they have to come through this board, and you've appeared and done some of that.
Yes.
So are you going for more of
Well, Well,
piecemeal type of thing, or what do you?
Well, if you use your threshold where you go from gravel to asphalt,
Mhm.
and then from the different thresholds, well, as we add development further out, which I think was your question, we then we exceed the threshold, and is that necessarily the county's responsibility, or would that be the developers? So my point would be, North Haines, in my opinion, originally got the asphalt road from Weston Heights.
Yeah.
They bore the cost of that.
Well,
Originally.
That developer might originally have done that. The difficulty is, and is the way that I understand the law, is I cannot make a developer build 4 miles of road to get to his development, or rebuild 4 miles of road. Now, if a developer wants to build 4 miles off of the road, you might have to make him build the access to it to get.
And that would be more of the application, I would see.
Yeah, and so if you look at that's how the county dealt with, oh, help me, that development off of McIntosh, that goes up off of McIntosh. Who's that development by? I mean, Timberwood, Cassie's, they made, that paved road was built by him to his development and maintained. The county made, and it's still maintained by him.
Okay.
And so, so we can do that within some kind of reason, but if somebody's developing off of Elk Creek someplace to make them rebuild Haines, you're never going to get that to work.
And that's not totally, I may be a little bit too vague, but there's got to be a way to, well, I don't know if there is a way, that's your point, to anticipate it.
But it's difficult. I mean, and
at best.
Frankly, that's one of the reasons I think this supports a TIF, is because really everybody's beating this road up. And
we're right in there.
Yeah, and at least if the future development can help put some money away to maybe rebuild it or another road in the future. So. Well,
and that was in part why I asked about the hill, because there's all sorts of stories.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
So anyway,
that's one thing I've discovered is there's always a story.
There's
at least one.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time.
No, and I'll tell you, John, I always appreciate you come up and saying your piece. You do it professionally and you do it fair.
Thank you.
Mr. Morris, now that we've been going back and forth, is there anything that we've said that troubles you?
No, we're just looking right here on the parcels. If that were to be the case, like I said, as long as we're contiguous, it's the wish of the commission of what they'd want to do.
Yeah, so I did anticipate these requests. I thought it made some sense, so I did ask staff to take a look at that, and I think I even sent a preliminary thoughts to the board members individually on those. So there's 3 large parcels, I think is what we're really talking about here. Now, folks, you came in late. Did you have some comments? This is a public hearing on this project. Are you here for something else? Okay. Yeah, so, and maybe Mr. Morse can explain, your existing funds will stay at the same level and the same tax base. The lift will not come back to you until the TIF's paid off. And that's a crude way of probably explaining it.
Correct. The bigger issue is going to be that 3% that the legislature put in place. So you're really going to be stuck at a moment in time of today's budget until there's a better way to figure out a taxation.
Right. North Haines, this is just a part of your guys' district, as I understand you. You guys have a big district. I appreciate that you serve on the board and do that. It's thankless work. Right, board members?
Right out.
So at this point, the TIF area that's identified, I'm not quite understanding. Are we looking at changing, removing?
So what I would recommend, actually, John, I think, brought this up at the last meeting, and then Borgmeyer kind of reiterated that, and that's this east-west. That John's parcel here and the 2 federal parcels come out. We can recommend to adjust those boundaries up to the community. And I would say we should recommend those three parcels come out. And the east-west connector, quite frankly, is more likely to get built between Haynes and Erskine Road before it starts going. That's more of a motivation of the person who owns the land between those two roads trying to sell it, and John says he's going to Well, I thought you said you got your kids now involved and grandkids and 6 generations, John. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's correct, and the 4-year-old just trailed cattle out last week, so, when you got 5 of them, 4 to 9 that can trail cattle, that's a pretty good asset.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you don't have to pay them very much either.
What?
You don't have to pay them very much either.
I don't pay them very much, that's correct. They don't get paid much. They do get fed well. So just a real quick recap of the east-west connector study to try and clarify. Many of these options cross our land.
Yep.
And my goal was to keep it out of the floodplain. And we realized that we're not going to be around here forever. And that 6th generation may not ever, they're living out there now, but we realize we won't be here forever. But at the same time, there's more lots in Meade County than you can. The market's oversaturated, in my opinion. So when we end up getting kicked off is fine, but we did agree to one. I accepted I forget which one it is. Do you remember?
I think it's the 5 was the preferred recommended one, if I remember correctly.
It's up on the
5A.
5A across the Borgmeyer, but it's 5B across, because they did them BC, ABC. So 5A, it goes across the board.
It would just be logical that when you do put that in, which we've accepted, we attended all the meetings, we would probably parcel out everything on the north side. We don't have any water over there. And it's hard to explain to you the security issues that we encounter. So, anyway.
Yeah, no, I understood.
Okay.
So, essentially, my recommendation is those 3 parcels make some sense. They're people that have, frankly, semi-supported the study that we did before.
So for the resolution purposes, should we identify those legal description in the resolution?
Well, we have a proposed do we still have our proposed resolution then?
I see it, but I don't know if this removes these properties.
It probably does not, would be my guess.
We should identify.
It does remove them.
Oh, does it propose?
Oh, it does.
Oh, look at that.
He's on it.
Oh.
I guess, well,
hot dog.
I have to tell her that she shouldn't listen to me so much, but not necessarily
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, so
the resolution we have does remove those properties.
Yeah, I don't know now. I'm just looking at your map.
No.
Gotta get back. So, we just removing those 3 parcels? That was my understanding. Okay, but you thatched through more than just 3 parcels on the map. So you wouldn't remove those ones that are adjacent to.
That screen.
Well, yeah, it wasn't the map that I said. Yeah, those 3 parcels make sense. The others, yeah.
These right here would stay in.
Yeah. Because then you wouldn't have the
we would not have
contiguous off of this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it would be the Celadors would come out, and Jordan's
1 parcel.
east half would come out.
Yeah.
One question I have for Toby is, with removing probably more on the west side there, on the, what was it? The ranch, I can't remember the...
Celador.
Yeah. Is that a significant impact on the overall scope of the dollar amount? If you pull that out, is that going to change our projections significantly, or?
It would be more minimal than anything. If this were a developer TIF, I'd have a very, very small area, but being it's not, it's a government, it's just trying to think of what may be coming, listening to the testimony here before. doesn't sound like it has a high development potential.
Well, not soon.
No.
That was, because that ranch, all of it's for sale, but a significant dollar amount.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll get done someday. And I would think probably, there's probably gonna be some movement on it in the next 20 years, but I would expect the stuff really where we're,
To the north.
yeah, to the north and right along those edges of Haines.
And then Toby, where the Salador Ranch is, that doesn't break up or take away from the contiguous definition, does it?
No, because we connect there on the east side of Haines, and it's
Okay.
still connected through Haines Avenue as the health yard.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and they posted the wrong map. It's different from the map I sent you guys that,
Okay.
but, you know,
Anya, I have a question. They had brought up North Haines Fire District. Within Beacon, are we, or are you able to do an overlay of fire districts of where those overlap into this? Just so we had a visual of how much it could impact them, or if it, how much it overlaps in the TIF
Do you have that
proposed.
next on anywhere?
But we understand that the other tactical sovereigntries have all been notified of this proposal
Yeah.
and the public and
in
everything.
fact, the school district said they had no issues with this one. If I remember, I would think I was on that email or you forwarded it to me, Gary. Yeah, I think I know I saw it.
So in other words, anybody who would have a complaint or a problem with this has been notified in advance. We're not gonna end up,
We can't guess who might have a problem.
well,
with
by
it.
law. Let's just
Yeah,
go by
we've
law.
done legal notices and,
Because I've noticed that in the history notes of previous TIFs that wasn't always followed. So I want to make sure all our ducks are in a row before we either cook them or get burnt by them.
want a burn duck. That does not sound good. Yeah, so. are
Not
you-
able to put it over the,
You're not be
the
able, you can't
boundary.
do an overlay, but.
I can't do an overlay, but you could at least see. So here's Haynes. Is all
In the
the brown. Yep. The airport is right here. There. Yep, and this is Golden Valley. These sit in Piedmont.
Yeah, those would probably be pretty close, because generally the district. Does that look accurate to you for you guys' district boundaries, the brown?
All right, here. Or you're talking about Bob Miller's lot?
Yeah.
So
139th or Ricard Road.
You'd think they'd use a road, but maybe a shorter section.
Sure.
So, so at this point, anybody, Commissioner During, did you have anything you wanted to come up and say? I don't believe so. What question is, so is the resolution, you're comfortable with the legals?
Yes. Yeah, because section 26, section 36 have all been addressed.
So,
26 is removed, which is board matters.
well, the entire section or just that?
Minus the church parcel.
Minus the described lot.
Yep.
An error that I do see on this is it says the hearing was held on September 8th. Our original hearing notice was for the last meeting. It was continued, so we heard this on
11th.
August 11th, and then was continued and heard again.
So just change
Oh,
that.
mean is continued. Yes, that would need to be
Okay.
changed.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed that when I kind of.
On page 3, item 2B of the resolution under findings, it still says, the state of South Dakota Department of Revenue has reviewed the TIF plan and classified taxes of Meade County to be economic development.
Yeah, so that would need to be changed too. It should be a local TIF. I do think the rebuild of Haynes will enhance this area if you've driven Haynes lately. Yeah.
Every day right now.
Yeah. Oh, you're trying to avoid the
They did a long way around.
yeah, otherwise go through Blackhawk. It's not crazy.
If you're ready, I can.
You got your legals good then? Okay. Yeah, so if you're going to make that, the proposed resolution, you just have to note that, hearing date, as noted, that was heard on August 11th and then continued and heard again on September 8th, and that it's a local TIF.
Sorry.
And I was just going to ask if this is a majority vote, or do we have to have at least 5 members vote for it?
It's simply a majority because it's basically a recommendation to the commission, like a, like a building permit deal. Is that correct, Mr. Morris?
I'll make a motion then. Move adoption of Resolution 2025-28 approving and recommending tax increment district plan number 4, Meade County, as presented and amended to show hearings to be August 11 and continued September 8, and identified as a local TIF.
Or a second? Second by C, I'll take that. Discussion.
I would speak for the motion. Okay. It's certainly it's a well-traveled road. I understand the opportunities for development. It's going to happen, and so this is an opportunity for a financing tool to allow for the infrastructure. The only thing that I would add my disappointment in is that the design of the road is not in compliance with Ordinance 10. Would like that to be known.
I think that's a point. I think that's a point well taken. And as to actually, Mr. Jordan said something about the soils. The soils don't prevent it. The soils just drove the cost too high for the road to be wider, because we didn't think we'd have money to make it fly that way. But I'm with you totally. It's I think. I don't know, you probably lived out there long enough. Were you out there when Erskine Ranch Road was paved?
Prior to it being paved, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was, if the county is ever going to pave another road again, step it up and realize they're not just, that they're more urban impacted around that area. So, in fact, I think that's the design, like if this east-west connector gets built, it needs to be built, so, more of an urban impact as opposed to a rural. Okay, additional comments, arguments?
I urge caution. Yeah, I do agree with what we're being told by Commissioner Gallimore that it seems to be a necessity, but I would strongly urge us to consider that, is this just going to be one domino and many to follow? Or are we going to basically ask the county commission and those responsible for the taxpayers' money to try to make sure that they don't use it as a means of asking for more than what they can pay for on a regular basis? I am cautionally for this motion, but I urge that we don't look at this as starting a blank check process for infrastructure or for economic development or for anything else. If people want to come in here and live here and people want to develop it, great. We don't have zoning, but they can't expect people who've been living here for years to pay for all the new stuff that they're not going to get to enjoy as near as much as the people who are coming here buying houses that a lot of people in this county can't necessarily ever live in.
Well said.
Thank you.
Nancy, do you have something?
Mm-mm.
Sam?
No.
All right. All those in favor of the resolution as amended signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passed unanimously. I'd like to thank this planning board again, and my apologies for probably not getting you educated earlier on or giving you forewarning of some of these issues that were coming up. I've fallen into that trap that I've been talking about so long. I think everybody knows what's going on. So I'll try to do better next time. Mr. Morris, thanks for showing up again. Mr. Jordan, always. Thank both of you for both serving on the Fire District Board and for your attendance today. Commissioner During, did we do okay? So let's go back to our regular agenda. Is there anything else that the planning needs from us today?
I just have one thing.
Sure.
Max Rook is, her last day is this Friday. She is leaving us.
Abandoned by another woman.
It's been really great to be here. It's been a great place to be, and everybody, it's very.
You've done a fantastic job. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your time here, Max.
You're welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
Someone taught me how to do this the first
time. Okay. Before we move to adjourn, I'm going to move to close the public meeting, and please record the time the public meeting was closed. I should have done that before the resolution, but that'll work. Okay. Now, is there anything else that planning has? Any other words of wisdoms, Max, for what we should do? Okay. You understand you have to find your own replacement before you can leave.
She just pointed at Jill.
All right, then let's adjourn. Thanks, everybody, for your work on all these.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just going to adjourn.
Anya, I have a question for you.
Gary?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to turn off.
So,
When we get, our packet,
yeah.
when you guys.
So I try to read you guys' minutes, and I see that ANCO is coming in and.
You, in order for you guys to get the packet, okay, so we're working with you guys.
I know.
That are caught up.
I know, right across from my house.
I thought that's what's happening.
Those are live.
Right.